Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And Mr. Jain, Mr. Mohata, Mr. Kaul. That's how I'll, I'll address you. Otherwise, I'll go wrong with. Great, great, great. So, now welcome to this panel. A very interesting panel about which I was just mentioning. It is still about the experience, consumer experience becoming more and more important day by day. So I was just scanning through some of the reports. Why is this showing 10 minutes? Please, can somebody change that? ऐसे मत करो यार. You scare me. Sorry. So I was going through some reports, and obviously it's a fact, and we'll hear it from each one of you. One bad experience can drive your customers away. According to the PwC research, more than 30% of the customers are likely to walk away from a brand just after one bad experience. That's how bad the world has become, and that's how unforgiving our customers have become, you know. An AWS sponsored report on customer experience states that 58% of the customers believe great customer experience is more important than price. You know, again, very, very provocative, but a reality probably over a period of time. Customer experience is the new differentiator. How then how do we then optimize this new differentiator? How do we deliver consistently giving great customer experience? Because it's not about giving them once or twice, it's about giving them again and again when they come to you. How do we take advantage of technology? How do we identify the moments that matter for them? And how do we be clear of our brand values? I spoke about meaningful brands and the brand values. So my first question to each one of you is again about, you know, technology, because that's what is important in delivering customer experiences. How have you deployed technology to elevate customer experiences in your respective businesses? And if you could give me specific examples of what has been done or what is being done. So, Rajesh ji, aapse start karenge.
Thank you, Mohit. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I answer your question, Mohit, I would like to say when you talk about the price part, I think price cannot be seen independently. It's a very relative term. So if you're a mass customer, you would like to see the price and other things. Also, if you're a premium customer, you would see the product in sync with the pricing that the premium product has to offer. In fact, especially for Indian customers, what we have experienced is that it's value for money delivered. It's not the price independently that you can look at it. Now coming to your question, Mohit, about the technology and technology. Normally, most of us think in terms of digital technology, but I would like to go beyond that. In fact, I would like to start with saying that why do the customers come to you again and again, and what role technology plays there. Today's customer, in my opinion, and I'm talking about the fashion industry especially because I come from that industry, they normally come back to you predominantly for three things. There are several things in retail that you have to do because retail is not one thing or the other thing. It's this, and several other things. But there are three main things that I could take out from retail industry to bring the customer back to you again and again, and that's collection, care, and convenience. Now, when I talk about these three things, I'll just elaborate on each of these things linked with technology. So first of all, I'll start with collection. Collection doesn't mean only products. It also means that you refresh those products, refresh that line of products every now and then, plus the type of products that come into that store or the online environment that you're selling on. Now, if I give you an example on this collection part, that how technology plays a role, and as I said that it's not only digital technology that we should look at the complete technology. For example, our best-selling garment is our classic polo. That constitutes almost about 25 to 30% of our total sales in India and globally also. And the yarn that goes into it, that goes through so much of technological research and development, that yarn has been proved to be one of the most comfortable yarn. The fabric made out of that yarn has been proved to be one of the most comfortable fabric on human body. That's technology. That's not digital technology, but that's technology. Similarly, the kind of polo I am wearing today, it has certain mix of lycra in it. So it gives an stretchability. So the proportion of that yarn or proportion of that lycra that should go into that yarn, that's also technology. And collection, because of that, plays a humongous role in bringing the customer back. Second is care. Today's customer is genuinely caring about the environment. So the brands, the retailers, they have to ensure that their products, the way they present it to the customer, they have to be careful about the entire environment. To give you an example about the technology here also, in case of care, the products need to be produced in such a manner that we keep on reducing our carbon footprint. In this scenario, we have to take care of the product that the product should be either recycled or recyclable. Here also, again, the technology plays an important role. That how do you first of all make the product which is recycled? Then secondly, that product should also be recyclable. A huge amount of technology goes into it. The third part, convenience. And this is where our normal understanding of digital technology comes and plays a very, very important role. When we talk about convenience, today's customer wants to buy anytime, anywhere. And this is where we have to see that on the supply side and on the demand side, on both the sides, the digital technology has to play a very big role. So on the supply side, when we look at, to give example as you asked for it, when we look at the supply side, so our supply chain is geared in such a manner that we have to predict the demand. We have to forecast the demand in such a manner that which store or which online channel would need that kind of garment or that kind of product at what time and at what pricing also. All these things are driven by that technology, which we call digital technology. Even an online platform, we have to ensure that the user interface is such that the customer feels very comfortable using that user interface. On the other hand, when we talk about the demand side of the customer, when the customer comes to the store or he or she buys it online, they need to have a beautiful, convenient, seamless experience of walking through the stores, then buying the product in such a manner that the billing should be very, very good. The CRM that most of us have started using now. Omni-channel is one important thing that actually has mapped the entire inventory of all the retailers. In case of modern retail, if you see, most retailers are using omni-channel as a day-to-day technology. Now this technology, especially in the convenience part of the customer, it's not a big breakthrough anymore. We use it so much in our common day-to-day life that we don't even realize the technology is supporting us in executing our entire retail or the entire supply chain solution also. So in my view, technology plays an extremely important role in entire life chain or entire life cycle of the product and the retail, and to reach out to the customer and beyond that also.
Great. The three C's, I'm a textile engineer, so I can, understand a lot of what you said. But three C's and technology playing role everywhere is fabulous. So, Rajesh ji, how do you see the role of technology in your industry, in your category? And how do you see it enhancing the customer experience for you and your brands?
So I will first give introduction about the product which I represent. So I represent Ardenox. We manufacture premium luxury category of the home space solutions, which is kitchens, wardrobe, vanities as one of the portfolio which we have. And just taking a point from where Mr. Rajesh Jain has just mentioned, in fact, we also work on the similar thing. Obviously, the environmental challenges which are there today, sustainability is one of the major concept which is there. We produce stainless steel kitchens, and the perception which we create in the mind of our customer is that it is recyclable, reusable and refurbishable. So it is not that you are buying a kitchen today and you have to continue with the same kitchen with the same finish for multiple years. You can get it changed, you can get it finished differently, and you can create a new experience in your life by just giving that back to us, and we can change it, because stainless steel doesn't get damaged or it doesn't get rusted, or so these are the advantages which is there. When we talk about it, then we also give them a lot of flexibility with respect to our customers, that in case they want to create a different experience of the different finishes, like the stone finishes or the leather finishes or anything which can be done. This all while we talk about the physical part of it, there is a new concept which has started coming after the post COVID. People have started using kitchen not only for the cooking, but they sometimes do the working along with the cooking or cooking along with the working. And so we have started looking into it, what are the convenience which are there. So designing also is getting changed, that you can have a mobile stand or you can have a TV stand along with that, where you can watch the TV while cooking, or you can see talk to the people while cooking, and there is a working benches which can also be done looking into this. So these are the new design technologies which getting incorporated into the systems. The last point from the digital side which is there is that people usually now started looking into it. They want to, cannot visit so many places because it becoming difficult. And I will give you a typical example. We have a store in Bangalore, but the commuting in the city itself is becoming too much difficult. Like if you want to go and visit multiple stores, it becomes difficult. And so what we have started working on to it, that we have started giving them a store filling in their houses itself through the VR technologies. And that's where we have created the system. Our team goes there, they just take a photograph, send it back to our office. We do the designing and we show it to them through the VR technology. And then they are able to see in different finishes, different styles, they can pick and choose. And this we learned actually from the automobile industry, because they create the similar type of experience on their website. And we thought, why can't we create a similar experience where a person at the home can itself feel that they are in a kitchen, this is how this is going to be their new kitchen, and they can have this experience. So this is the technology we have started working onto it, and we have experimented into the Bangalore, and we got a very, very good result out of this. That's all.
So AR, we are basically getting into
This is now becoming a. In fact, it is one of the advantages which people are facing, because the whole family can do this thing. Otherwise, earlier there were two people coming to the store, then they were going back, then they were coming back. Another with architect or interior designer were also coming along with them. So there were 2 or 3 visits before the kitchens were getting finalized. And one sitting, everybody can understand. They can look into different thing, and they can close the design, interior, finishes, everything in one sitting itself.
great. Coming to you, Rakesh, how do you see technology playing a role in enhancing CX in your category?
Yeah, thanks, Mohit. So I think I'll go a little bit, 5 years down the line. So I represent a company which is basically, we call ourselves, a specialist in water science, air science, and sleep science. So, even sleep is a science now. So I'll go a little bit about water science. So the core of technology should be used in problem identification and solution of that. And so I'll go to one of the biggest problems which our country is facing is the availability of pure water across the country, right? And so much so, let me tell you that India has 17% of world's population, and we have just 3% of world's water resources. And out of that 3%, 92% of the water is not even potable. So we are actually staring at a water crisis as we say by. And I can tell you one of the major cities in India, Chennai, was out of water for many days just recently. So I think we went back into a solution way back in 2018, and we said that water purification as a category is so much in need, yet its penetration levels is abysmal. People are just not buying water purifiers. Why is it so? Why are people buying these bottles? Why people are buying these, having those big fuddy-duddy 20-liter, 40-liter water bottles, and some of them not even taking from a tap water as such. So the identification was the cost of acquisition and the cost of maintaining a water purifier is absolutely high. So you buy a water purifier 15,000, and every year you give 5,000-6,000 rupees for an annual maintenance contract. So virtually in 3 years you are again repeating your buying pattern, and that's what is leading to the cost of ownership phenomenally high. So we identified it, and we said that what is the best possible solution which we can integrate with technology and leading to a great consumer experience and leading to affordability, which can only increase penetration. And we created a fantastic tech stack, and we worked on it in 2018. And we were the first in the country, not in the world for sure, to launch a business called Water as a Service. So which was basically that, we are going to install water purifiers across the country to people as a rental machine, and we take care of all your problems. whether it is maintenance, whether it's changing the filters, air in, air out, and you have an option of changing the water purifier after 3 years, getting a new one also. So, and this was all built on a very, very strong technology platform as such. So today, on a monthly basis, we acquire more than 15 to 16,000 consumers, and the entire experience is seamlessly through a tech. He logs onto our website, livpure.com. He buys from that. The machine gets installed. There are various subscription plans like a 599, 799, or an alkaline water for someone as such. And the diagnosis happens in such a way that the tech stack and the diagnostic ability of our tech stack is so strong that we can tell the consumers beforehand that his filters are going bad. He doesn't need to say suddenly, oh, suddenly the water is not tasting good. So we are able to diagnose the problems, the possible filter going bad or the RO membrane going bad, the quality of the water not being bad. So the technician calls before and tells the consumers, look, this filter is about going to go bad. It's not prudent to drink this water. So we go ahead and replace the filters, replace the membranes, and all this the consumer is experiencing seamlessly. So we have installed now, we have an installed base of more than 200,000 consumers, and we anticipate through this technology and experience seamlessly, which is getting integrated, we will have more than 2 million consumers in the next 3 years. And there's an industry of bottled waters of almost $2.5–3 billion, and you have so much of challenges getting those water bottles into your homes, the lifts, and with so much of security around the apartments, you don't really get an access as such. So we are resolving the problem of billions of Indians to give them access to safe and pure drinking water, and even diagnosing their health. I think through the AI now we are even moving a step ahead and telling them of the quality of the water and what possible diseases this area of water with certain TDS or highly dissolved solvents could do it. So I think it's a brilliant experience. The consumer is getting seamlessly. He is not even bothered to pay for it. And we're having a phenomenal coverage in the major urban markets. And I could not think of a brilliant, I had thought of a different example when I ventured out here, but the moment I entered, somebody said, he just shook my hands. He said, I gave him my card. He said, oh sir, I'm using your rental service. Then I decided I'll talk about this example today. I think it's one of the brilliant examples of how you can seamlessly integrate tech with experience and solve real consumer problems as such.
Great. I never knew about this, and I'm going to definitely change my my water
For,
filter.
for you, we have a very good one called an alkaline water, basically, because alkalinity of the water also leads to a lot of fundamental improvement in your health patterns. And you have I don't want to name the brand, they sell that machine for 3.5 lakh rupees, and there are consumers who are buying that machine. So we'll give you 1,000 rupees a month, don't worry.
Wow. So I have a deal. But amazing, water how technology is being used to improve consumer experience in your category, all three categories. I think amazing examples. Now while I was talking about meaningful brands before this, we also delved into something called a CX study at Havas, and we deployed it across many countries like USA, UK, France, China. India was also part of it. Close to about 50,000 adults were interviewed on 500 plus brands. And these brands operated in various categories, from fast food to fashion to transportation, technology, finance, everything. And what it came out with is an X index. An X index was an index of how good the experience of that brand was. Right, and again, more about it, you can go out to the Havas stall and download the study from the website. So 3 key things came out from that study, and I want to have your point of view on whether you agree with that or not. So what came out was that you cannot make any compromise between efficiency and pleasure. That's one thing that the consumers said. Again, they said achieving personalization in the era of algorithms. While we all talked about technology and in his case, and practically all the cases, and specifically yours, personalization became very important. Where you said in a specific area, if the water quality goes bad, then there are AI solutions to tell you how to change it. And third, a shift from customer to community experience. So, I just want to ask each one of you to give your perspective on whether you agree with this or not, or how do you see this, panning in future, because consumer experiences are only becoming more and more complex. Technology is making it more complex, or more easy for them and more complex for us to enable them for them. Complex, or rather, we have to essentially put more effort towards it. I want your honest reactions on what I just said. Making no compromise between efficiency and pleasure, achieving personalization in the era of algorithms, and a shift from customer to community service. So, Rajesh ji, if you could start.
I think a beautiful study. I would like to compliment Havas for this. If I take the first one, when you said the efficiency and pleasure, I don't think these can be ever compromised, or these can be seen as something which are antonyms to each other, which are actually synonyms to each other. See, if you look at the customer, and I'm talking about again about the fashion industry. So there was a time when the customer would consider shopping as almost like a mini vacations. They would go out with their family to, let's say, a mall where there is a parking available, there is an air conditioned environment. They would have kids play area, they would have entertainment, they would have F&B, and they would have shopping. So it was like a mini vacation of 4 to 5 hours for customers at that time. But however, after the advent of this e-commerce and online shopping, etc., it has become anytime, anywhere shopping. It's not a particular 10 to 12 hours time slot that they get when they can visit the mall or visit the shopping destination where they can shop. Today, even from their bed right in the morning, while coming back from the office or while going to the bed at night, they can do their shopping very easily. In fact, you would be surprised to know perhaps that our own website, Lacoste.in, we see a decent amount of customers, decent number of customers who visit our website and do shopping between 12 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So that clearly tells us that the customers want their products or their shopping to be done anytime, anywhere at their convenience. Now that's very easy from the customer's perspective. But for a retailer or for the brand, they have to be very, very efficient for this. So when you talk about efficiency brings pleasure, or efficiency and pleasure in the same breath, it is actually true. Unless and until the retailer, the brand are very efficient, they can't bring that pleasure to the customer. So they are quite interlinked to each other. So I completely agree with the finding of this study that efficiency and pleasures have to coexist, and they go hand in hand in any case. The second point was, if you could kindly repeat that.
So it was achieving personalization in the era of algorithms.
Here, I think there is, I would like to look at it a little differently. Achieving personalization, if again you look at it from the fashion industry perspective, if we go back in early 90s, when there was very little advent of ready-made garments or ready-made products, we would go and buy fabric from somewhere, go to a trustworthy nearby tailor and ask him to prepare a personalized stitched garment for me. But in today's environment, getting a personalized product is not easy. So there, I think there are certain restrictions involved where you can't really personalize the products per se, barring, let's say, if you want to go and buy a suit and there's some personalization required, that is done. However, the convenience and the shopping experience can perhaps be customized there, and online companies are really doing great job there. If you look at the marketplaces, and if you visit those online sites which are big size there, they do give you a personalized, convenient experience. If you're looking for a product, they would give you the ensemble of the entire product, in that this, apart from this product, you can look at this product also, or if you want to look at the complete ensemble, how it will look on you. Those things are really working out very well. So personalization from that perspective is really, really a true thing, and no two thoughts about that. Third point was
a shift from customer to community experience.
Shift from customer to community is extremely important, and I again agree with your study there. What really happens when you are targeting a community instead of just an individual there is that a lot of cross pollination happens. So if you are reaching out to a community and that community by word of a mouth, it keeps on spreading a lot of good things or even bad things about your brand or about your products. So it really drives your sale, and a lot of customers come because only because of that community targeting. So that's a great point. In fact, community can be in different forms. So for example, we have a loyalty program called Club Lacoste. That's also a community. We have built a very big community base there, and we reach out to them, and we see that a lot of new customers also come because of them. So that community based reach out to the customers is a great thought, I would say.
Great. Thank you so much. Rajesh ji, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so on the first part, when we talk about the comfort and what
Efficiency
was
and
efficiency
pleasure.
and
Making no compromise between efficiency and pleasure.
yeah. So I will put it because I come from a different industry
Yes,
altogether, and we usually work on the customized products.
Absolutely.
But the most important, and I agree with the study. In fact, I have gone through the report
Oh, you
as
did?
well. So I am agreeing to the study which is there. The people are actually nowhere compromising on any of them. They want value for money. That is the mantra which is there, and they are looking for the comfort is coming first, and then obviously the efficiency is also important. So first they try to choose which are the efficient companies, which are the efficient products which are there, and then they start looking into what will be for my personal choice, how they will be able to do the customization. And this is how usually our type of business works. In fact, we have another product range which is a homeware and home decor product again in the Ardenox, and we do a lot of gifting during the weddings, during the festive seasons and all. People usually pick up the product and they want it to be customized for their different choices, colors. In fact, sometimes they want it to be engraved with the name of their loved ones and so on and so forth. And sometimes we get designs on the they take it out from somewhere, Pinterest or somewhere, and they'll just send it. I want copy of this to be done on my artifacts, which whatever they are trying to do it. So people are selecting both the things together, and then that is where they are looking for someone who is who can give them both the things simultaneously, and that is where the shift happens from one company to another company. The second point which was there was about the algo and the personalization which was there. So I will put it this way: how we use it. We have Google and the Meta ads which we keep running because we have to do a lot of marketing and advertising in our efforts. But we do the backward algo working, that what are the customer segments, what are their choices and all, and then we start creating personalization within that algo itself. So we use algo to create an experience for our customers, and then we create a personalized gift. When you start knowing that this, say usually my customers are of 25 to 40 years of range, these are my customer segments, then we start finding out what are the things which they are looking for. So coffee mug is one of the very high selling product for us. Then we started looking into it, what are the things which people are actually looking for, and then we started finding out that the most of the people who are buying coffee mugs are office goers. And then we started finding out what are the problems they are facing, and then we created personalized, that if you are having a tea bag, where you will put it in case you are in a meeting and you are far away from the dustbin, where you will put it. So we started creating that there is a cup along with the plate where you can immediately put it, and after drinking you can put it back. So these are the things which comes from the algos, and then you start creating a personalized experience out of it. The last one, we talk about the community to the customer, right?
Yes, shift from customer to community.
Customer to
experience,
community. So I will put it this way: there are a lot of gyan which is now available on the YouTube and the Google and everywhere, and people are started understanding the things which is there. And while we do not create a community, but the community automatically becomes when the people started looking into it and they started asking for a shift from one product to another product. We have seen this thing, and while we were trying to communicate it to the people that cooking in aluminum is not good, and you should use stainless steel cookwares, but it was more from the people were thinking that because they are manufacturing stainless steel, hence they are talking about it. But when they start, this becomes a general knowledge which is available now on the YouTube or the Google and everywhere. So automatically a shift is happening. We did a recent study about the market dynamics of how the people are changing their buying patterns and all with respect to the homeware and cookware categories. We found that people have started shifting into it. and they are saying that we are looking for induction free or induction friendly cookwares. They are looking for they are looking for stainless steel cookwares. They do not want a coating nowadays. So these are the things which is changing, and the communities are creating around it, because the people are started looking into the hygiene and the health as a most important part post COVID. So this is how it happens.
Great, great thoughts. Rakesh ji.
Yes, thanks. So I think we have to be cognizant of the fact that, experience, if personalization has to seamlessly melt into the experience, and technology can play a very, very good role in that. But when personalization gets actually overbearing, that's where the marketers lose the plot actually. So if you see the entire algorithm based, I think we have to be very cognizant of the fact that where it should end actually, and that's where personalization should give into a seamless experience. So I give you a couple of examples, some related with us and some not related with us. So for example, in our air science, we have an air conditioner. So if you go to your bedroom, and that air conditioner will sense how many people are in the room, what is the ambient temperature outside, and basis that it will regulate the temperature within the room for your comfort. And then through technology, every day whoever of those three people is inside the room, basis that it will regulate the temperature to its liking. It's like your wife likes at 16 degrees and I like at 25, and we both keep on fighting over the remote to keep on changing the temperature. So that's no longer the problem. So if you blend the technology stack into seamless experience through the use of AI, and you can actually give a brilliant experience to the consumers around that actually. So we have to be very cognizant of the fact. Now extending this into getting into your personalized spaces, now those consumers, if they go out and I like a 25-degree, and suddenly I get bombarded with from Mr. Rajesh, that you buy a Lacoste which keeps you warm at 25 degrees. So that's getting overbearing in the sense that personalization space gets intruded upon. So I think marketers need to be cognizant of the fact that experience, personalization getting seamlessly integrated into experience is one of the big things as such, and it should stop that rather than getting overbearing. Of course, I mean communities, I think that's the real thing. I think I'm a great believer in this actually. And if you see, sustainability is one of the most paradigm shifts which is taking place in the world right now. And if you see the the consumers, the new age consumers, they have very, very high on what are those products, what are those brands which are not leading to a increasing the carbon footprint in the country. So we have actually communities can be created around sustainability, which is really a big thought as such. So whether your water purifiers are high recovery, they're not losing more water while purifying the process. You could create communities of, say, for example, we say that we recover water 80% of the tune, so we're conserving the water resources as such. So communities around a common causes around sustainability is the real thought, and I think I see a lot of shift, a lot of next generation consumers or the millennial consumers who are really looking at brands purely from the experience of delivery, whether they are sustaining the earth, the planet as such or not, and building those case causes into communities. I think you can certainly do a strategy around that, and I think all brands, all companies should look into that piece in a big way, because to me, I think sustainability is going to be an integral DNA of everything, whatever any company does in the next 15, 20 odd years. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have 3 minutes, and I want to ask one last fireside question to you. As a consumer, not as a marketer, so you cannot mention your own brand. What has been your most memorable consumer experience? It could be from today, yesterday, many years back, but anything that still stays with you.
In fact, personally, I would say when you talk about the customer experience, the first industry that comes to mind, and apart from my own brand, I'm talking about, the first thought that comes to mind is about the F&B industry. And I'll, as you said, that I will go far back in the history. Several years ago, when I first visited this place called Chowki Dani in Jaipur. So I had an amazing experience because in the modern era, we had forgotten how to treat your guests and how to give them a good experience. At that time, at least, when I visited there, I was given such a great experience that I still remember that experience even after so many years. One very important thing about experience is that experience has to be consistent. I don't know what is happening with that particular place now. I have not visited there for several years now, but that is one example I could give. And second example, very quickly, I would say that currently the online players give such a great experience to the customers, because even if the customer doesn't know about the type of product or the different type of products or the ingredients in a product, and if you go look for one product, you will get 1,000 options. So that gives a really great experience to the customer. So without naming my brand, I have been able to
But Chokidani, I agree with you. You know, I've also had a great experience many years back over there. Rajesh ji, aap.
So I would like to not to give that my consumer experience, but I will give you one of the experience which I had. In fact, 2 years ago I went to Varanasi, and then obviously when my wife was there with me, it was obvious to go and buy a Varanasi silk sari. And then we went to a shop, and then the shopkeeper was looking to my wife, and he was thinking that perhaps she will be buying saris, and accordingly he started presenting all the saris, showcasing the saris which he felt that will be liking for her. But as soon as my wife said, no, I am looking for my mother-in-law, he immediately started changing the whole of the saris. My wife has to ask that why you are doing like this. Then he said that because your taste and your mother-in-law's taste may be different, I cannot show you this. And he brought the another saris. That is where I started looking into it, that this is what perhaps Algo or any of the e-commerce media will not be able to do, because when they are looking into the person who is buying, they look into the mail ID or the phone number of the person who is buying, and accordingly all the things runs. They do not know for whom it will be purchased. So that is where we started putting into our system as well, that you have to ask who is making for whom and who is buying for whom. So that is one of the experience which I learned there, and then put it into my business.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Rakesh.
Multiple experiences. I really can't stand out with one, but what I strikingly feel is that with the advent of the new age brands, particularly the disruption caused by the digital part of it, legacy brands are no longer going to be dependent on their so-called hallowedness of their brand. That's a passe. So I believe the experience which these new age brands are doing, I don't want to name, there are plenty of them. I mean, I've been experiencing them at the home, the way they deliver it, the way they connect with you, even the post delivery, the way they manage the entire process is something which really strikes me. And it makes me a consumer who you can switch brands with this experience. So I think the experience of delivery from all the major of the new age consumer brands are really disrupting the market, and I believe that's the way to go forward as well.
Great. Thank you very much. The time is up. Thank you, gentlemen, for this fabulous panel. I hope I don't think we have time for questions, but the gentlemen are here. After this, you can reach out to them and ask your questions, and also download the report, as I said. Thanks a